Hello everybody, I'm JimmyTheSaint. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about probably my new favorite dinosaur. It's the Therizinosaur. And this guy is really cool. I call him Deathclaw. He's a pretty high level, actually. We're going to go ahead and level him up a bit more. I want to level up his melee damage here. That's what I'm going to focus on with him, is melee damage and health. These guys have pretty good health, and if you level up their melee damage, they are incredibly versatile new dinosaurs here in the game. So these guys are so versatile. I wanted to show you guys you can gather wood and thatch so quickly with these dinos. It's probably as good or better than the beaver. Plus they gather fiber so quickly. If you run up to a bush and right click on it, you gather fiber really quickly. And which is, you know, it's going to make a lot of other dinosaurs obsolete. Plus they have an incredibly powerful attacks. And can kill, like, just shred most dinosaurs in no time. And then they gather the hide meat off of them really well. I'm going to attack this guy right here. I'm going to run out and level this guy a little bit today. That's what I wanted to do. I just got through raising this one and imprinting it. And I'm going to actually go out and do some killing with it and level it up some. Need to get this guy some levels up. In fact, he just leveled up there. Let's see. I'm going to focus points on him for health and melee damage, I think. And that's really what I'm going to focus on with this guy. He's already got like 7,000 health right off the bat. You get his melee damage up and his health, and this guy's going to be a beast. All right, we just leveled up again, and one thing I noticed with this guy is you have the option of changing his harvesting levels. And you can apply it to delicate harvesting or power harvesting. And basically what this does is the power harvesting of the Therizino gathers a lot more wood and meat from corpses and things like that. But then the delicate harvesting gathers more things like hides and chitin and possibly, I haven't tried it yet, but polymer off of the penguins and things like that, bushes and flowers. So I think I want to try and test this guy to harvest chitin and polymer. So I'm going to go with the delicate harvesting and spend some points in that for a bit. Let's level up. I got 6 levels in that, so let's spend all of it in that. Oops, wrong button. And hopefully this guy can be really good harvester of polymer for me. Let's jump back on him. I'm continuing to level him here, just running around the little pen we've got for our various dinos here. Again, this guy gathers wood really well. He does not gather stone or flint. I think that's probably the only downside, but I'd say he gathers wood as well or better than any dinosaur in the game. Probably as good as a chainsaw. I don't know how much exactly. I haven't tested it, but against a chainsaw, but I'd say it's pretty close to a chainsaw, especially if you level his that's a low-level guy. I'm still looking for a saber-tooth to tame. I want a really high-level one, but I'm going to kill this guy. Especially if you level its melee, it can gather wood much faster than I think even a chainsaw. Let's see. The only drawback to this guy, I would say, is his weight is relatively low for their base stats, so they can't really hold a lot. And their movement speed isn't the fastest. This guy's got good stamina. He was bred with good hit points, so that's what I really wanted. I targeted good hit points so he can take a lot of damage. I'm going to try and go fight something pretty tough here, like maybe a Rex or something, maybe a Spino, and see what we can get into with this guy. Now we've got something to fight. I finally found something. I've been searching up and down this river here looking for Rexes, but we've got some Allosauruses. A pack of Allos will actually be a challenge for this guy because of their bleeding effect. They do pretty good damage. This will be a pack of them, so one of them will be a prime. Get that prime bonus on those Allosauruses. Let's see how well this guy fares against those. Just run up and just jump right in this fray. It looks like one of them got stuck, so that works out well for us. One down. Still got the pack leader. Come on. That level 5 was no match. Oh, he's going down too. Oh, I see blood all over him. Oh, he was a level 55. Look at that. No problems there. We're still taking the bleeding effect on us right now, but these guys barely did any damage to this Therizino. He is a beast. Like, he barely took any damage. He took like 300 damage during that fight. That's with the bleeding effect and everything. We gained another level. Let's keep leveling up this melee damage and hit points here. I'm going to put a little bit into weight here because that's his only downside, is they can't carry very much. And if you go around swinging wildly and gather a bunch of trees, accidentally hit trees and gather wood, you'll weigh yourself down really quickly. I'm going to keep looking and see if we can find a challenge, another challenging fight here. This guy's a beast. So, what do you do if you meet a Therizino in the wild? Well, normally you should run, unless you're on a really powerful dinosaur. But if you got a good mount, they can be handled. The only thing is you do not want to fight them on foot, because they can just shred your armor. They have their attacks with these claws that they've got just rip armor to shreds. You can see these guys have, like, huge, massive claws, and they really just damage your armor really fast. They have a high damage rating to armor. They have some sort of bonus, I guess, to armor damage. And you do not want to fight them on foot. They're really tough to tame because of that. Unless you can get them stuck somewhere or grab them with a Quetzal and drop them in a taming pen, they can be pretty tough to tame, because if they get a hold of you, man, they're going to hit you hard and fast, because you're typically going to want to tame a really good one, like a high level one, and of course those are the ones that are going to do the most damage. So we had a hard time taming ours for the tribe here. We've got a couple of them now. We started breeding them, but it was tricky to get them. They are not easy to tame at all. They are herbivores. They eat plants. So that's why, I guess that's one of the few downsides of these guys, is you can't pump them up with meat like you could on a Rex to raise their hit points up if their health is low. You can force feed a Rex a bunch of meat to heal him. You can do that with berries, but it's just nowhere near as effective as meat. As you can see, his health just barely goes up there 1 point at a time. You could probably do that with some sweet veggie cakes. You could probably pump his health a little better that way. But I don't have any currently. We've been using them to get some snails, so we don't really have that much. But I'm still running around looking for something good to fight. All right, there's our Rex. There's our guy. Let's see what level he is. Is this going to be the one that's going to be a worthy fight? Level 25. Well, it's not the highest level, but if it was a really high level, I'd want to tame it. So honestly, this will have to do. Let's just walk up to him and let him attack us, and we'll get into a good fight with this Rex here. There we go. Let's rip this Rex to shreds. Rex is doing pretty good damage here, but we are dealing just as good as we're getting here. And we ripped him to shreds. That was not that bad. We got a bunch of prime meat off of him. We lost a couple thousand hit points off of him, but we were already kind of low from a fight just before that. I fought a pack of Allosauruses. So, yeah, there it is, guys. I wanted to add one last thing. You can gather... So, the Therizinos have 3 different attacks. They have the right mouse button attack. You swing that to gather meat, and that's your best attack for gathering meat and stuff like that. You can right-click, and he does the little claws grab, and he gathers fiber with that. And then, hang on, let me remove some of this junk off my inventory here and get that off my screen. Drop this wood. I've just been dropping the wood because I've got too much of it to carry, really. And then, lastly, I love that animation when he levels up. Lastly, if you hit the C key, he has an attack where he gathers berries, and that attack also, it's like a peck or something. And if you do that on... let's see, on animals, after you've killed them, you do that attack, and it gathers just hides and no meat. So you can be very selective on what you gather. You can gather just fiber, you can gather just hides, or you can gather, meat and fiber and everything all together, berries. This guy is so versatile, it makes a lot of other dinosaurs, well, extinct. Obsolete, if you will. There's not much better at gathering resources. Now, granted, he doesn't have the best carrying weight, so, beavers and dodicks and things like that are still better at gathering stone and wood because they can carry more of it. Not that they gather it any faster, but they can just carry it, more of it. And that's what makes those guys still somewhat useful in certain instances. But personally, I think if I ever go out gathering wood with this guy, I'll just bring a pack animal to carry all the wood for me and just transfer it over to him and just use him to gather it really quickly. That may be the best bet. We got another Rex here. Actually, I'm just going to kill everything in sight. I'm going to fight this Rex. Oh boy, that was probably not a good idea. We just lost a lot of stamina because of that little packy guy there. Packy Rhino. Oh, this is... Come on, Rex, I'm out of stamina. Go down. Another level 25 Rex. Awesome. And some ants. Now, let me run up and gather. I think if you hit the C key on the ants... Oops, wrong button. You will gather chitin really well, too. So, yeah, these guys are amazing. I want to take them up to the... Maybe take them up to the... penguins. They're on islands though, so I don't know if I would have to carry it with a Quetzal to carry it to the islands of the penguins and see if we can how well they are at gathering polymer. But I bet because of their high attack rate that they gather polymer really well too. May bring this guy over to Scorched Earth and see how well he gathers stuff over there, like against the mantises and stuff. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of the Therizino. Have you guys had any luck with it? What do you think? Have you been able to tame a high-level one? I really love them. I think they're awesome new dinosaurs, but they unfortunately put a lot of other dinosaurs extinct. They make them obsolete. If you haven't already, you guys, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.